Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to another Sunday of the Petty Crew Radio Show. If you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself to you guys. I am Boss Hogg. I'm the host of the Petty Crew Radio Show. Matter of fact, let me throw on there in the spirit of Sha'Carri Richardson award-winning podcast radio show with my partner in crime, uh, one of the loyalist ladies I know in life, who been rocking with me day one, the first lady of sports, ROSZ. What's good, ROSZ?
How y'all doing out there? I'm not gonna tag mine with Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm just Ross. I don't know about the award winning part of it, all that other
You don't know
stuff.
about the award winning.
I'm just gonna say Ross, and we'll leave
Okay.
it at that.
Okay, well, leave the arrogance with me again. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in. Come on in, come on in. We have a great show lined up for you guys today. Please make sure you like and share today's show because, again, we got some fiery topics. We won't be before you guys long, but we are definitely going to talk about what's in the now. But before we get started, man, I want to send my condolences to one of my frat brothers. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, last week he lost his wife. They have been faithful um, followers, supporters since day one. And I'm talking about my brother Raheem Grinder, who lost his wife, Dion Williams Grinder, uh, last week, a week before last, if I'm not mistaken. And so I want this brother to know from the Petty Crew and also as a brother, we definitely send our sincerest condolences. Roz, would you like to say anything before we get this show started?
Yes, once again, just to piggyback off of Boss Hog, Dion Williams Greider was one of our. I was in three courts with her on the Masonic side of it. A loss. Can't really explain it. We went to the services. Very good funeral service, if you can even have that. Very upbeat. They did a lovely job in sending her off. The family, everybody was very welcoming. Even doing the repast, they let the Dallas people come in first and get their meals so we can get back on the road. The weather was kind of rainy, so we couldn't do the graveside service, so they did that at the church. Once again, Paradise Funeral Home in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, very good job on the homegoing celebration and in the program. It was very upbeat. You know how you go to funerals and you can just feel the sadness, even though
Mm-hmm.
that it's a loss, a tremendous loss for some. You just felt the celebration that she lived her life in during the service. Um, we traveled down there, just a couple of ladies, just to show our respect. Her OES chapter did an outstanding job with their goodbyes and their final farewells. So shout out to those ladies of Imani, because when you come into this organization, and I'll cut it short, you normally have one main house that you just love. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like that. And hers was Imani, and we knew that, even though she was a part of my OES guild and daughters. Imani was her first love. That's the first house she went into. Everything was Imani. Those ladies have a sisterhood that has been tested, and it is true. So it was a loss for us, and we're going to be doing some things coming up to continue to honor her memory. So I'll put that out there when we start planning for it. For all of those that want to participate, we would like to keep her memory ongoing, because I know if the shoe was on the other foot, she'll do the same thing for
Right.
anybody else. So we passed on a token of love to Brother Grider, and he will be receiving a couple of more things in the mail. And I addressed him with that while at the funeral, and told him that if he need anything from us, please don't hesitate um, to say something, because we are here for him as always.
Right. So again, if you're just now tuning in, uh, we are speaking about the loss of one of our fraternity sister, as well as faithful follower and supporter of the Petty Crew Radio Show. She lost her life sometime last week, week before last. And so again, we just want to send condolences out to her husband because she survived by her husband, and if I'm not mistaken, 3 sons. And so
Yes.
again, you don't have to know her, but definitely pray for the Grider family. Again, pray for those people. Again, pray for the people that we've lost and just people in general. With that being said, man, we're gonna keep it moving with today's show. This is highly anticipated, so we want you guys to share this show because we're not going to be before you guys long, but we got to talk about what's in the now, N-O-W now. For you guys that who have been living under a rock, Sha'Carri Richardson has made or did make her return after being suspended for a month. So we're going to jump into that race. We're going to have that conversation. Then we're going to talk about a controversial interview that was given by Turk in regards to Birdman, who would kiss him and Wayne. We're going to play the video from that as well. We're going to discuss that also because as men, let's be honest, we feel some type of way about men showing that type of affection toward each other, especially when they're not blood, son, daddy, uncle, grandfather, within that whole family dynamic. And so with that being said, if you didn't watch the race yesterday, as I was one who didn't, I watched it later because I recorded it, found out very quick that she took a L. Then I see on social media, we see all the negativity. And as I said yesterday, I understand the criticism and I get that. But where I have a problem and where the sensitive side of Boss Hogg, because yes, I can be sensitive, come in at is that I really don't believe in disrespect and women. I got to be honest. I don't care how much shit I talk. There's a difference from my criticism on social media and me literally disrespecting women on social media. They are not the same. So we're going to actually play the video of yesterday's race because it also has the interview, which I'm going to be seeing for the first time after the race because I was so scared to watch it after I seen what was going on social media. I was just too scared to watch it. So we're going to play that video. Then we're going to talk about it. And then I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, ROSZ, for the second half of our show about the whole Turk, Baby, Wayne, Kevin Gates whole kissing thing they got going on. So right now we're going to share this race for you guys who, if you didn't see it yesterday, you're going to get an opportunity to see it today. And we're going to jump in and have a conversation about it. So let me pull it up. All right. Do you guys see the video? All right. So let's play it. Here we go. And then we're going to come back and
anticipation
get
for
into
the next
it.
event on the track, the Nike Women's 100 meters. There's center of the picture, and now you see her amongst the 9 women in this race. The 21-year-old Sha'Carri Richardson won the Olympic trials here in June, but the evening after that race, she tested positive for marijuana, which she said she used to have hope with the death of her biological mother. That positive test invalidated her result from the trial, so she could not compete in the race. But her situation generated a lot of sympathy. Track has been eagerly awaiting to return to the track today, exactly 9 weeks after that serious injury on this track in June.
So again, for you guys that are tuned in right now, we're playing or replaying the race from yesterday for you guys who didn't watch it. And then we're going to hold a conversation about everything that has transpired since this race.
She has medals from each of the last 4 Olympic finals. Here is Sha'Carri Richardson, number 6 all time. She has 1 loss this year at 100 meters. That was in Queenstown back in May. Here's the young lady now. The fastest woman alive. Elaine Thompson-Herah, 10.61, pointing at the clock into a headwind to win the Olympic final in Tokyo. She did the double-double, winning the 100 and the 200 in successive Olympic Games. And here's a frustrated young lady, Marie-José Talou of the Ivory Coast, fourth in the final in Tokyo, she was also fourth in the Rio Olympic Games. Mujinga Kambunji of Switzerland, she also made the final at both 100 and 200 meters in Tokyo Olympic Games.
And outside in lane 9, that's Brianna Williams, part of the Jamaican quartet that won gold in Tokyo, the 4x100-meter relays, coached by one Otto Bolden.
She's the youngest in the field at 19. But this is the showdown that everybody was expecting in Tokyo. The entire podium is here. Sharika Jackson third, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price second, and on the left there, Elaine Thompson-Herah, the gold medalist in both the 100 and 200. And they've put Sha'Carri Richardson in the middle.
9 talented women on this track right now, but the world thinking this is Richardson versus the Tokyo podium in the women's 100. I think Tiana Daniels out in lane 1 trying to cut through the tension here by holding her hand up, and we'll have a restart here. You can feel in the stadium right now.
This is what big races are supposed to feel like. You're supposed to feel nervous no matter where you are. Tiana Daniels was the only American to make the Olympic final this year, and she was the only American to make the World Championship final 2 years ago in Doha. There's Javian Oliver, who was second at the U.S. trials on this track, but didn't make the final in Tokyo. This crowd is completely hushed.
Richardson said she didn't think that she would be nervous coming into this race, but wants to perform well, and she is sandwiched between the 2 greatest Jamaican sprinters ever.
And arguably 2 of the best ever. So before this race even starts, 2 10.6s versus all these 10.7s never happened before in history.
Women's 100. Richardson being left behind, and out in front, the Olympic champion does it again.
10.54. That is the second fastest time ever. Only Flojo has run better. And the Olympic champion reminds you why she is the twice now reigning Olympic champ. That was an amazing 100 meters. She made it look easy. No contest. What happened to Sha'Carri Richardson? So the Olympic podium comes to Pre and duplicates their finish there. Thompson-Herah first, Fraser-Price second, Jackson third, and it's Tiana Daniels with a big step up in form to run 10.83 for fourth. So here is Elaine Thompson-Herah. Since she got third at the Jamaican Olympic trials, she has been on a tear. Her coach said she's in the shape of her life, and she has proven it. No contest at the Olympics and no contest here. There is no question who the world's fastest woman is. It's Elaine Thompson-Herah of Jamaica. And her countrywomen did a good job as well. 10.73 for Shelly Ann Fraser-Price and 76 for Sharika Jackson. And look at the reaction of the Olympic champion. Yet another personal best for her in 2021.
She was already in rarefied company as being only one of 2 people to have won back-to-back 100 and 200 Olympic doubles. That, of course, Usain Bolt. But this kind of performance absolutely reinforces what we saw in Tokyo. Meantime, Sha'Carri Richardson finishing 9th in the race, and she's with Lewis Johnson.
Well, Sha'Carri, what was your expectation as you came out here today to face these ladies from the Olympic Games?
Coming out today, it was a great return back to the sport. I wanted to get to the before, having a month off, dealing with all I was dealing with. I'm not upsetting myself at all. This is one race. I'm not done. You know what I'm capable of. Count me out if you want to. Talk all the you want, because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the 6th fastest woman in this game ever. And can't nobody ever take that from me. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to the people that won, but they're not done seeing me yet. Period.
All right. Thank you, Sha'Carri.
All right. that was the race. So let's jump right into it. For you guys that are watching the show, I want you guys to let me know how y'all feel about the return of Sha'Carri Richardson. And let's get right into it. It is what it is with her coming back. However, ROSZ, I'm pissed off. I'm more pissed off at the people who dogged this young lady versus what she did on the track. As I said on social media, and I meant exactly what I said. If you ain't never stepped foot on a track in any form of level, if you have never broken any type of world records, if you have never won any championship when it comes to track and field, let me be more explicit than I was on social media, because I was nice on social media and I said be easy. How about you just shut the F up? My heart dropped when I started seeing on social media, Twitter, Facebook, how they dogged this young lady. Now, you know me, ROSZ. I got a criticism where criticism is due. You get what I'm saying? But there's a difference between criticism and just total disrespect. The word that comes to mind is perception. And I have been thinking about it, and I was going to talk about the word perception on social media. That is one of the most misused words. If I was going to create a list of misused words, it was going to be in the top 3 of words that people misuse 99.9% of the time, the word perception. And perception is what caused the negative reaction toward this young lady. And it just hurt because we're talking about a young lady that we just not too long ago, remember, just lost her mother, who was dealing with everything she was dealing with, was disqualified, as the announcer said, who had a month off competition. And in her return, there was this expectation, not her expectation, but our expectation, that she was supposed to beat the hell out of these women who have proven themselves to be world-class sprinters. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
As a father, I put myself in a position. I have a 21-year-old son. And in my mind, I see her like I see my son that is still a child, mentally playing in a grown woman's sport. She's still a baby.
Right.
Yet she's only 2 years in this damn track and field game. You get what I'm saying?
Professionally, yes.
Professionally, she's 2 years. She went from that girl to, oh, I knew she was going to lose in one of my fucking Facebook groups, and forgive me, but it was coming. This dude said, I blame Oak Cliff, Texas. I blame Oak Cliff, Texas. I blame her. She wasn't all that. Oh, this is a dope head. And now, as a black man, now in defense of a black woman, damn how I am on social media. Now I need to take up for this sister. Because it's one thing to have a damn criticism, it's another. Now you disrespecting this young lady. And I told this dude, and me, when I'm passionate about something, I'll give you my address. I don't care where you at. Because now we go from a place of a healthy criticism, which we can all have, to now you at somebody you don't know. And I had to tell this dude, you speaking from the sideline. She's running professional life while you work a 9 to 5. I am still out. When it comes to how I look at her, I'm still on the fence, meaning I have yet to count this young lady out. You get what I'm saying? When she ran that 10-6, I jumped on social media and said, I hope it was legal. Meaning I hope she did not do it with the aid of performance-enhancing drugs. Because when you set that type of mark, guess what you put on yourself? A bullseye. You get what I'm saying? Now you're expected to start running that way. And so I'm going to stop right there and turn it over to you and get your thoughts about it before I keep going. But I will say right now, I'm disappointed in us as a people for the social media ridicule of this young lady. ROSZ, talk to me.
Well, when my daughter is here, and she ran track, so we watch track all the time. That's just, I love track and field. I go to anybody's track meet. If you have a kid and you invite me, I'm coming. I just love track and field. So before the race starts, she actually texted me because she had left to go get something to eat, and she said it starts at 3:30. So I was like, cool, we're gonna have everything set. Boys gonna be down. Like we ready for this race. And so she turned around to me. She was sitting on the floor. I'm sitting on the sofa. And she said, you think she gonna win? And I said, no, she's not gonna win. I said, because she hasn't put the due in yet. I said, if she win, I'll be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I give her by second or third. I said, but I don't think she's gonna win. I said, because for one, Thompson is nice. Go ahead and put it out there. She's nice with it.
Right.
She can run. That girl is nice. And I said, but I just don't think her maturity level as a runner is there yet. And it's a difference from when you go to just performing in these high school races, even college, to professional.
Right. Yeah.
It's a mindset that comes along with that. It's not just the performance, it's a mindset that comes along with that. So as when the race started, and my daughter said, before the gun even shot, she said she got a slow takeoff. And Thomason is out fast. And I said, but she has the speed to catch up. So we're debating before the gun even go off, like we professional broadcasters, you know how we do it at home.
Right. Yeah.
We got all the statistics here. We can make that decision.
Right.
So as the race started, and she was slow, but when I saw she didn't kick it into that next gear, her mind got to her. It's the mindset to me. For me, it's the mindset. And then, of course, when the race was over and she was in dead last, and I was like, I need to watch it again. Let me we'll catch this and watch it again. And then the interview. I was more disturbed because of the interview than I was for the race. And the same thing happened when I was watching the Tokyo track. The 16, 17-year-old male that ran the 200, that was a sensation here. His interview was horrible. The interviews are horrible because she came across as not humble about what had just happened. She didn't congratulate the girls immediate. She was actually walking off until they grabbed her to come back for the interview. So I'm more upset with that part of it than I am about the race. She's going to redeem herself. She's a fantastic runner. She can run circles around me in anything. So I'm not going to put myself in her place to say, oh, she failed. No, she just didn't perform like we're used to seeing her perform.
Right.
Everybody has had a bad day. I've had a bad day at work. You've had a bad day at work, to where your performance level wasn't where it normally is. And it all goes back to mental. So I think it was something mental. I think the hype had came. I think the pressure was there. And I think once she saw herself being outran, the mental really kicked in. And I think she did a poor job on that part of it. But I'm not going to count her out. I told my daughter, I had a conversation with my best friend yesterday. I think she's going to be great. I want her to be great because she has the talent to be great. But I also want her to get a team around her that's going to help her. She needs mentors. And I said, I hope Allison Felix or some other high-name track stars or some more professional athletes surround this girl. After the Olympic thing, Jay-Z came out and was going to, promote her and give her ads and stuff like that. Kanye did something with her, which is great. But to me, I think she needs somebody that has had the same pressure that she has on the same field. Right. Serena Williams, sit down and talk to her and let her know about the pressure. It's okay to lose. Serena is still number one to me. Right. She's lost matches. But that doesn't take away from her ability to perform. And this, to me, took away from her ability to perform because I think they were too busy getting her ready for the meet to run the race, but not to take on the conversation that you're going to have, win or lose.
Right.
Win or lose. Because in my head, I'm thinking that had she won that race, it would have been big talk, which would have been ugly.
Come on. I'm gonna let you go on and finish because you're
which
right.
would have been ugly. It would have been ugly. She needs to learn how to do it with humbleness and meekness, and to understand what that is. Somebody on Facebook put, she has to understand that she's a professional now, and that's big. She thinks she's just running this race. It's a whole lot more to it. How you carry yourself off the field, how
Mm-hmm.
you carry yourself in the public eye. And no, you didn't necessarily choose this, but now that you have it, you have to learn how to deal with it. And I'm not saying she has to be a role model, but she has to understand how her words can affect her future
Mm-hmm.
on that part of it. So as far as the race and as far as her, social media drug her yesterday. But we know the memes was coming. The internet has what word am I looking for? They
No
have no,
kill.
yeah.
No kill. The internet, as they say, is undefeated. So,
Right. And so we knew it was coming.
mm-hmm.
And we know stuff like that is gonna happen. It's going to happen. But for individuals to take it to that step to say, oh, she's a druggie, she's a weed head, oh, she's this. No, she's a young lady that don't know how to deal with the pressure of life. And that's the part to where she needs mental health advocates, a psychiatrist, a sports therapist, and she need people around her to say, "Hey, no, we know you the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
We know that you happen to support whatever, but don't do that.
Right.
Don't when you have something like that, the first thing that you do is congratulate the other ladies on the field. That's
Right.
first. And yes, she did come back and do a secondary interview to where she said she didn't mean any disrespect to the ladies. She's all from women in professional sports, but that's kind of like somebody had to talk to you for you to come back and say that instead of doing it
The
then.
first time.
Right. So it kind of like, is that how you really feel? Because you should have said it out there. It should have been about you and what people thought about you and the shit that people said, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
about you. It should have been, I didn't run the best that I could have. I will let my record speak for itself. Enough about me. Let's congratulate Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
She broke another record. She tore it up in Tokyo, and let her know I'm coming for her. She has set the bar that I now want to reach. So
Right.
let me go congratulate her and then walk off. So I think that the disturbing part for most is the interview and how she carried herself throughout this whole thing. But as
Right.
far as her, I'm riding with her. I'm riding with her till the wheels fall off because I know she can do better. I'm almost like you. I have a child. It's like you just want them to do better because
Right.
you see it in them. You see greatness. You see the
Right.
opportunity. You see all this stuff in this young lady that's trying to operate in this woman's world, and she don't have all the tools yet.
Right.
So for the people that have been dragging her, um, once you finish saying you're not nothings, as old people call them, say some positive stuff for her. And you don't have to
Right.
put it on the same link that you did it. Go on another social media page. We don't want to mess up your followers on the gram. Go on Facebook and put it where the older people are. We don't want to mess up your
Look,
gram people.
so you said a couple of things that I'm glad you said because then I can piggyback on. First and foremost, you need to get a whole nother team together. I can tell people who are actually sports folks and folks who are bandwagon. First and foremost, let me shoot it at my folks here in Dallas, Texas. You niggas ride for the Cowboys.
Hard.
They ain't did nothing in over damn near 30 years. I'm talking specifically to you niggas in Dallas, Texas, who ride for the Dallas Cowboys, who have not done nothing in damn near 30 years, who literally disrespected this young lady. I take it personal. This is the sensitive side of Steven. Damn the criticism side of me. This is the sensitive side saying, you know what, again, it's one thing to have criticism because that was the first thing Negroes were saying in these groups. Well, we can have an opinion. There's one thing to have an opinion and a criticism, and it's another to have disrespect. That's why there are 3 different definitions for them in the dictionary. It's three different definitions, and neither one of them are the same. So yes, it's okay to have an opinion. Yes, it's okay to have a criticism. It's another to disrespect somebody, because the truth is, if your sorry ass son or daughter, who probably don't do nothing in real life, lost, you wouldn't talk about them on social media. You wouldn't call your own son or daughter a weed head, and because I'm gonna read one of these statuses. I'm gonna read one of these statuses I got pulled up. First and foremost, she need to get a better team together. I know you don't know nothing about. You watch track, you just watch it. First and foremost, she picked a coach who was already controversial himself. She runs with a teammate in Justin Gatlin, who himself had been caught taking performance-enhancing drugs. So when you talk about ROSZ, if she would have won, and I said this yesterday to a young lady, if she would have won that race, they would have said she was on something. They would have said she's on something, because she's already been interviewed and asked about her coach and her reason why. That's how I know you Negroes don't really follow sports. Y'all just ride a wave. You felt sorry for a minute. She took a L, and then all of a sudden you guys turn her back on it. I don't know if y'all the same people who was riding for. I don't know. I just go by what I see, and I'm on social media, every last one of them. And so again, it was a catch-22. Because if she would have won the race, it would have been already thought of in the mind. She's on performance enhancement drugs. How the hell she just beat the top 3 women in the sports, in track and field for women? Secondly, she is carrying USA on her back.
Right. And we see how, I mean, if you watch the Olympics, you saw, I think we need to do a whole show on mental health, because I don't think people understand what that is and what that can do to you. It's a lot of stress on your body.
Right.
And it's like the first day of school times 30. Most people, young kids, I know I did, first day of school, we got our clothes out the night before.
Yeah,
We
you
don't
got
our
the
bed. We don't polish our shoes. We nervous. We can't get no sleep, because it's the first day of school. And especially going to high school. Oh, it's the first day of high school. So as a freshman, I was in uniform, so I'm not gonna talk about me, but everybody else. You couldn't wear your new clothes on the first day of school, because they would have known you were a freshman. So now I got to put on something old but nice to let them know that I ain't no fresh meat. Right. I'm new to this. I know how to act in certain situations.
Right.
Just imagine that times 10, everybody looking at you. Everybody know you. Everybody critiquing you, good, bad, or indifferent. I tell my daughter this often. When she comes to me with issues, people are going to talk about you, whether you do good, whether you do bad, whether you're doing everything you're supposed to, whether you're falling off the wagon, whether you have a doctor's degree or you barely made it out of high school. They are going to have something to say. The difference is how you receive that.
Right.
And I tell her, I don't care what people say. And that has alleviated so much stress for me, because just how that person just talked about me, you let me walk into Walmart. By the time I get to the produce, I done lit up by 10 people in my head. These head rags, tights and short shirts, thin tights where I can see your panties. Why your daughter got on church shoes and it's Easter dress and it's Saturday. It's a lot of stuff. So why am I gonna be? Well, why is she talking about me? I don't have it, because I just lit up somebody.
Right.
But it's the mindset. It's the mindset that you have to get into. I'm just in pressure going to high school. This girl got everybody looking at her, coming out for band. Quick timeline. She won her race, posted great time. She all over the internet. We love her. Oh, she's doing great. She doing this. She doing that. Test results come in. She on marijuana. It clicked. She's a weed head. She's this. She ain't gonna never be nothing. Da 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 da. Why would she? Same people. I'm almost positive. Bam. This race come out. Oh, we got commercials. See you at the finish line. She on Instagram. I'm not out. I'm coming back. Da 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 da. Bam. She lose the race. horrible interview, drug. Like you said, these are fair weathered people
Mm-hmm.
that do this. Die Hard, as you say, get the background of it. Her coach, who she trained with, who she do this with, who she do that with.
Who she's around, though, it's a whole man.
Right.
Listen,
Look at your it's just like in life.
it's a
Look at who you
whole.
surround yourself with.
It is a whole. Now again, I'm a track athlete too, and I can talk my shit because I done been there. Because I'm. You see, I post on social media. See, ain't too many people go say nothing in Dallas, Texas. You get what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody that can say, well, you guess what? I got you. It ain't never happened. See, I can talk that shit. And that's why I'm upset. You ain't did nothing. You ain't broke no records. You ain't did absolutely nothing. I can tell you ain't never won nothing because if you's a winner, you're not gonna criticize a person who had a bad day. I rewatched that track meet over and over and said she stopped running. When she seen she couldn't beat him, when she seen she couldn't beat him, she just coasted. She ran enough to finish the race. But if you're watching with a sports eye, when you're watching it, she stopped. How do I know? Because guess what? I've been there. And somebody watched me, and it was a coach that told me in the summer. He was my high school coach. He came to a summer track meet. I was in the field of some of the best runners in Dallas. And they were pretty much all on the same track team. Hell, it was damn near 4x1. I raced and went, and it wasn't in my mind that I said I couldn't win. I was still in the pack. You get what I'm saying? These niggas are still with me. That ain't really kind of how that go.
Right.
And he told me after the track meet, he said, you stopped. You see what I'm saying? He told me. He said, you stopped. Not that I stopped running. You stopped running here and in your body because it was here when you seen it. You just said, fuck it, let me just go on and run. Now, again,
let me just finish.
Let me just finish. I done been beat to come back and win. Now, on a 4x1 situation, not individually, but I got to make that shit clear. But I've been there. It don't have to just be on a professional level. If you know anything about sports and if you see how people, especially in these different arenas, I seen it. I said, that girl stopped running. She seen that she was not going to beat them. And you can tell at that 50-minute mark, she was just running. She just ran to finish the race.
I'm waiting on the comeback. I'm waiting on her to get conditioned. I'm waiting on them to prep her because, like I said, this girl is going to. If she don't be great, I bet anybody right now. I bet anybody right now. If she don't be great,
so Carla, hold on, Roz. So shout out to another one of our favorites of the show who tuned in. Shout out to Carla. This is what she says. She says, I personally think she needs to gather herself mentally. I do agree she needs a great mentor at this point. Right now, the pressure is a bit much to her. Feels as though she has to defend herself every way possible. Let's react to that real quick, and then you can go back to your point. First and foremost, Carla. First of all,
no, I mean that's it. Right, and that's a great point.
I definitely agree. Great point. She needs. I was talking to a young lady yesterday about breaking glass ceilings. She has a glass ceiling that she needs to break. As I said earlier, she's carrying the weight of USA track on her back, not the men. Not another woman that's close to doing what she's doing. She is the face of USA track and field. We go back to the word perception. Because she's clicking. I look at I'm a sports dude. I'm looking at the commercial with her slapping them long ass nails. Hell, I shared her damn TikTok, her hairdresser's TikTok. She's snapping her nails and everything. Is she not supposed to be confident? Why does it have to come off as arrogant? It goes back to the misuse of the word perception. People have this misunderstanding, and we hear people say it all the time. You know, perception with such and such, and as well as how people perceive you. Well, when you go look up that definition, it has nothing to do with how you look at a person. It has everything to do with you as the person who's looking at somebody.
Right.
What we do is we make that word perception seem negative. She's arrogant. She needs to do this and she needs to do that. No, is she supposed to stay in the shadows? It's bad enough these Jamaican women are trolling her ass. Y'all gotta forgive me, I'm hot. They trolling her ass. Every time, I've been watching it. Every time she do something, didn't you just say the young Jamaican girl pointed at the clock? Why did you point at the clock? Because Sha'Carri Richardson, when she hit that 1085, because I watch track for real, she pointed at it. They're trolling her ass already. You follow what I'm? They already trolling her. Right. They're doing it mentally. And the truth is, and I say it here, I wouldn't be surprised if we find out that they ass is on something. When the hell have Jamaican sprinters ever dominated track and field?
Now wait a minute. Okay. Them women be on it. You have Fraser Price that has been in the top 3.
No, but hold on, Roz, before you speak. What I'm talking about collectively now. But think prior to them.
We don't have any USA runner but Sha'Carri.
No, hold on. But think about what I'm saying. Before the emergence of them, that group of women, Shirley and Fraser, she was on top of everything, right? But before that group, that's all of a sudden that then popped up out the blue, Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago has always been secondary to USA track. I'm talking about as a whole. Think about it.
Let me put a pin in there. Did you watch the Olympics track and field? Because Canada came in. Mm-hmm. China, that little boy from China done came up, and China ain't never won nothing but badminton and chess. Come on now.
But think about what I'm saying.
It's a new breed. I don't think they're on something. I just think that they have found something that they can be great in. Because what else do Jamaica win in? They can't do anything in the.
See, you being real petty.
No, I'm not. But no, seriously, what else have Jamaica been good in? Seriously, badminton, nope. Basketball, nope. Rowing, nope. Nothing. Right. I mean, what else have they been good in? So they found they found this niche, and that's what they start training toward. China is water, all the shit that we don't even care about. Trampoline, badminton, table tennis. Diving. Stuff like that. We don't like what we run over here. We don't. We don't pay attention to that stuff. But this year, we did great in diving, which you don't normally see that from the U.S. at all. That's France, Germany, Switzerland, Austria. That's all those people. Fencing, we even placed in fencing. A black man. What? Yeah. So I think that they found a niche and said, we're going to start training in this because we can be successful in this. Because if you look at it, Jamaica ain't really been good in nothing. The 1500, that's all Africa.
Yeah, Kenya, Nairobi.
Right. So what else do they have? Their men have been breakouts. The men have always given us a run for the money before Usain Bolt.
That's true.
Now it's time to get the women on board. Hey, we finna start training y'all young because we see it now. Do this. We just need to get your training out there. So I'm not gonna take away from the Jamaican women and say that they own some.
I'm just all I'm saying is, as somebody who's been watching track and field, not bandwagon, who's been watching it, who can talk about the history of track. Because Carl Lewis said it about Usain Bolt. You get what I'm saying? And I've said it before, I'm suspect. I'm just suspect because, again, as somebody who ran track from a child all the way up, I took a lot of ass whoopings. Now, folks remember me winning, but I remember the losses. You get what I'm saying? Before I started giving out those L's. Before I became dominant.
So the little 17-year-old boy that's supposed to be a high school phenomenon, he done broke. He broke Usain Bolt
records. Right.
Records. Now, is he on some? Or is he just conditioned
No,
to run?
because watch
Because
this.
there's going to come somebody that's going to be faster, better than you. It may not be in your lifetime, but as long as that record is sitting there, there's somebody hungry that wants it. And
Right.
it may be just a God-given thing. They just can run.
Look, I agree. I would say this as we move on. Those women are again. I watch all of it, and I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know for sure. I didn't question Sha'Carri when she hit the 10-6-3. I just know what comes with when you do that. I know what comes with there's an expectation to say on your worst day you should run a 10-8.
Right.
On your worst day, not 11-1-4. That's junior high. You see what I'm saying? That's really.
But that's also how you know that she stopped.
Right.
Because she's better than that.
I think I do believe that those women are stronger. If I look back at I look back at all this, hey, shout out to Raheem. Hold up, stop everything we doing. The champ is in the building. Appreciate you, my brother, for chiming in. Please let us know what you think about Sha'Carri Richardson. That's what we on right now before we keep it moving. I would say this. Those women are physically stronger. Lil Mama is going to have to get stronger. Talent she has. If we had the technology 20 some years ago when I was in high school, where we actually incorporated weights into track practice, we probably would have set damn near every record in the country in high school. Because I had a high school, we had dudes we had a stacked high school. Not because we were recruiting, just because the district kind of aligned like that. We literally had one guy who ran track who came from another junior high school who didn't follow his path to another high school. He came and ran with us. But everybody else pretty much transitioned from middle school to high school. Right. If we had the technology that they have now for these young men and women, these professional athletes, man, ain't no telling where we will be. So I do believe that it is the difference between those Jamaican women and Sha'Carri is that they are stronger. You can tell it physically. They're bigger than she is. When she stands next to them, she's a little bitty thing to them. So they're stronger. It's not that just that they're talented. I do understand that they are stronger than her. And this is where, like I said, Sha'Carri is going to have to reevaluate her whole team. Are you as a coach going to help me get to the level of actually winning when it's time to win? Because this is what people go say, and we're going to go into the Young Turk thing. Are you going to have your last words too? Again, when you hit 10-6-3, on your worst day, you're supposed to do a 10-8. Because now you've shown, we know what you're capable of doing. Now you need to be consistent in that. Because every time she went down, until she faced those Jamaicans again, and you got to have followed her in track and field, you got to remember last year she never ran against them. In the Olympics was going to be her first time running against them. That plays a part in that too, because I don't know really who these women are. I see them, but I don't know that every day or every track meet field of taking that L to them. Okay, I know where I need to. It's strategy. Is it my takeoff?
And like I said, I think now she's going to be hungry for it. Mm-hmm. She's going to want it. She's tasting it now, and she's going to want that win against them. Right. I would, and I don't even run track. Let me go ahead and get it. I can barely run to my mailbox, which is at the end of my driveway. Let me go ahead and put that out there for you now. I am not a track star, but I am hungry for her to want it. And it's not even a proof. It's just so she'll know. She don't have to defend herself coming out of everything. Because you look at it, when Alex and Felix lost, she didn't defend herself for it. She said, I ran the race that I ran. I did what I could do, and that's it. And she went on about her business. Right now, all this stuff coming at her, you can tell, it's weighing on her. From her interview, it's coming at her. It's all this stuff. And she's still in that mindset of, I'm still this, and they need to know this. We know that, boo-boo. We know it. Because you wouldn't have been there People wouldn't surround you. You wouldn't have gotten the attention if you wasn't. And you need to rest on that, not on proving to people that you are this, you are that. Let your work speak for itself.
Right.
I ran a race. Everybody saw it. We don't need to talk. We don't need to comment on it. Just look for the comeback. Congratulations to Jamaica and their team. They did an outstanding job. But be looking for me, because you before long you're gonna be seeing the back of me.
And
Understand that. And then I'm done with it. It's sportsmanship.
There you go. I was just gonna say that because you mentioned sportsmanship, and we're gonna jump into the Turk. She was wrong for not congratulating those women because now you separated yourself. Let's be real, because you know I'm black. That was all black women, I think, except for one, if I'm not mistaken. That was all black women, regardless of where they were from. There was nothing but black women. She should have, and that's the maturity. And my parents taught me this early. Win or lose, you go shake hands
with everybody.
I don't give a damn. Win or lose, it's the sportsmanship. Damn it, if you go lose with some respect. You go lose with some sportsmanship. You're not finna walk away because you mad because you didn't win. She showed that. I don't want to touch on the word humble. I hate that word because it can be manipulated. I don't think she should humble herself. I love she's colorful, but she has to believe. Because here's what's going to happen with her now, moving forward. She has to believe that she can do it here. Because you can talk that shit out you want to. Folks are now going to start saying, I need the proof. When the road is the road and you in world-class company, not just where you're world-class, where you in world-class company, because now she was in world-class company, you need to show up. Damn it, if you got 4, okay, we see you got 4. She coming. That's a progression.
Right, and that's what I said. It may not be the next race, but I have no doubt, and like I said, I don't know this girl personally, but I see her heart and I see her compassion for it, and I think that she's going to be great. So support here. I don't know if you listen to us. I don't know if a team listen to us. I don't know if somebody who know them listen to us. We support you, 100%. We want you to do well as an athlete, as a female, as a black woman. We want you to succeed in all things.
That's right.
We're here. So if y'all can get that word to her, not just on her gram or whatever, y'all be Snapchats and TikToks and all this Facebooking to her, to let her know Dallas is riding with her strong.
Yes, sir.
That's just what we do.
We support you. I support you. ROSZ said, because we understand, we get it. It is my hope that you get it. It is my hope, and again, I don't, I still think we smile time. But it's my hope that you get another team together. You get somebody who's going to help you get to that next level. If that means you got to fire your coach. If you don't give him one more year, and if you don't see any results or any change with him, damn it, find something that's going to get you through that glass ceiling. That's what I talked about yesterday. Break that glass ceiling. And until you honestly beat at least one of them, just be one of them, damn it. It's 3 of them that got first, second, and third. Just be one of them until you have crossed that list. Got your ass. You see what I'm saying? You next. Got you. Until you hit that mark, people are going to look at you sideways. So again, with that being said, man, it is much love our way. I am compassionate. I sympathize with you. Like ROSZ said, there's nothing for you to defend. If you was not that girl, you wouldn't be running on that level. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just want you to know, from Boss Hogg and from the Petty Crew, you are still that girl to us. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to ROSZ. We have another controversial conversation we go jump into, and I'm going to let ROSZ. Now, do you want me to play the interview first, or do you want to set it up and then I play the interview?
No, play the interview first. That's enough set up within itself.
Okay.
Actually, the first couple of words to do it.
Okay, so we're gonna play this quick interview, and I guess Roz want to surprise you guys. So we're gonna play this little old interview real quick from Turk, and as they say, we're gonna jump right into it. Let me find out which one is it. I think it's this one right here. So we're gonna play with this interview. We're gonna come back to. That's not it. That's my inbox. It is. Hold on, y'all. You know when you're doing shit on virtually, I got a ton of tabs up. I believe it's this one right here. Let's see. Was it in Messenger? Okay. No, it wasn't in Messenger. It's this one right here. Here we go. All right, you guys see it?
Yes.
Oh.
Turk, he did an interview on Vlad TV, and he was talking about the older Cash Money members and the kissing and how Birdman would kiss him and Lil Wayne when they were teenagers. And here's what he had to say.
It's just like somebody hitting somebody on the ass. You know what I'm saying? When they playing basketball, that don't mean they're gay. Every male has some type of gay game that they play with their homeboy. But when you know your sexual preference, bro, it's like, what the f? You feel me? But like I say, I understand the mindset of people that they use. Like, being the stage where I'm at now, I wouldn't play no type of games to mislead people to even think that it's gay. But if you're a real man, y'all know that every got inside jokes that they play with their dog.
There was more to it. He said they would also kiss, you know, like kiss me like in front of their girls and stuff like that. Like to show love to each other.
They would kiss each other in front of their own girls?
Yeah. And he said it was just like a, you know, tell me like a, you know, loving type of thing. He also said he wouldn't kiss his own son on the mouth.
Do you have friends that play gay games?
What do you mean, like kiss each other? I'm gonna be honest, like I'm not a very kiss on the mouth with random people type of person. You gotta be my man. My parents never did that to me growing up, so.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever been around any guys who play gay games?
Nobody's ever done that in front of me.
Oh, okay.
It would be weird if my boyfriend kissed like his homeboy or a father figure in front of me.
You ever worked with any people who play gay games? Really?
What type of games? What do they do?
There goes my alarm. Gotta pay for my parking. But it's awkward. It gets very physical in front of me. That's all I can say.
All right. It's awkward. You done? Are you finished?
I'm moving just like that.
All right. Roz, come on. Talk to me.
So I sent this story in because I was flipping, I think it was Instagram or somewhere, and I saw the title about the kiss, and I'm thinking, I've heard that before. You know, Lil Wayne has said it a couple of times that him and Birdman kiss, and I chalked it up, they're just crazy, and I'm done with it. Then you start hearing what he said. It's not like we gay. It's just like when you pat another somebody on the ass after a play. No, it's not like that. It's not. Let me, you know, disclaimer. To me, it's not like that. It's totally different. That's intimacy. That's a form of showing intimacy to me. And this is just to me. Let me go ahead and put that out there. I'm not a man. I don't know what y'all do. But most men that I know, if another man came and tried to kiss them on the lips, there would be a problem. A whole problem with that. You can tell me that you love me without kissing me on my lips. I don't even want women to kiss me on my lips that I don't know. My mama don't even kiss me on my lips. Flat out here. You know, cheek head or whatever. But this is something totally different. Now to say that, because as I listened to him, first thought in my mind was Lisa Ray and her daughter. Lisa Ray kisses her daughter on the lips because that's the relationship that they have, and that has been going on since her daughter's birth to now. And I get it. But I just don't see a man doing that from even with his son from birth to adulthood. So I don't agree with that being okay. And then I think he said in there, every man play gay games with their friends. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. I mean, I don't know how many ways I can say no, and I know no trends in across every language. No, not no, whatever you want.
No.
No, no, they don't.
No.
If I see that, I'm suspect now. What we doing? Why are you kissing him on the lips? What you can shake my hand and give me a tight hug. You can tell me how you feel. You don't have to kiss me on my lips. We don't have to do that. So of course, I started asking questions to men. Hey, y'all kiss people on lips? There's no other way I can form it.
Mm-hmm.
If your best friend came up to you, and they don't even use best friend. Let me go ahead and say that. They say that's gay. I don't have no best friend. That's my end. Okay, whatever. You boy, you ride or die, your day one, however y'all want to put it, whatever. Right. Family. As a family. If he came and kissed you on your lips, what would you do? We'll be fighting. That's some whole type shit.
Yeah.
Right? So right. I'm just gonna say this, and this is about all I got to say. For you, that's normal, boo-boo. But in my opinion, once again, mine, underline it, highlight it, put the italics on it. In my opinion, real men don't do that shit. To me, real women don't do that shit. I've never kissed my best friend on the lips, but she can tell you exactly how I feel about her. Mm-hmm. But that's just me. I didn't grow up with Birdman. I don't know what they do in Louisiana, but I know that shit, they ain't it.
Right.
That's all I got with that.
So, because now it's a man on the show. And right. I'm all man, married, wives. I got 6 kids. My record speaks for itself. I love black women. And let me be the first to say, Turk, because I am a Cash Money fan. Let's make that clear. All means, first of all, you need to learn how to talk. All means,
well,
all means don't play gay games. Now, if you guys can remember, this is no more than a continuation from when Lil Wayne years ago talked about how Birdman was kissing him on his lips, and he tried to explain it because BG either was talking about how they would be in the studio, he would kiss him on the lips because he considered him his son. That's how the progression of this whole conversation started. You got to go back to the beginning. But fast forward to now, then it resurfaces. Now Turk in an interview says this. No men's that I know have gay games. We don't. From my daddy to my grandfather to my uncles to my brothers to my children, we don't. I'm with you, ROSZ. Even the whole sons, I remember on social media pictures of men kissing their sons were controversial. It was strange because women can dance on women and hit each other ass and it's cute. But black men, because the whole conversation of affection men toward men and their sons was questioned, that, black men somehow can be affectionate to their sons. I'll be the first to say, and I say it again, I've kissed my baby, my boys on their mouth. I've kissed them on the cheek, the forehead. I would tell my son in a heartbeat, come give your daddy some sugar, but that is what I created. That's me. You get what I'm saying? Not
that's yours.
That's mine, right? That's
yours.
Mine. Silver, who's finna be 2, will come and give his daddy some sugar on the forehead, the lip. That is my son. That's affection. That is a daddy, like you said, a intimacy. Those are my children. You get what I'm saying? They're mine.
Right.
But as they got older, that is not something I would do to my 10-year-old son. Forehead, I love you. You get what I'm saying? They babies. It's no different than me kissing my little girls as little baby girls. The same sugar. They wasn't treated any different. I hate to say it. Well, I'm going to say it, and I don't hate to say it. These brothers, and this is my opinion, and it's mine, and they are only the strict opinion of Boss Hogg. They are no way reflective. You got to put that disclaimer after a ride.
I know, that's why I kept saying my opinion.
Well, let me say my opinion. I believe that these men are bisexual men. It is no doubt in my mind, because this is how we jump into Kevin Gates, because this is how I'll go play into Kevin Gates. I believe that these dudes are bisexual men. I do. The fact that this brother who claims to be heterosexual talk about it in the way, as you said, is the equivalent of patting your teammate on the butt. It is not the same. That is speaking apples and oranges. Even then, when I played football, I didn't pat my teammate on the butt. It wasn't because I thought anything about it. We just didn't do that. You get what I'm saying? We just didn't. On the head. We actually, because that's how we pop, good job, bam, on the head. But I do believe that these men who, and let me add, by the way, who have served time in jails are bisexual men. It is okay to come out, especially in this era, to say, I'm bisexual. He's bisexual. I also think is a part of this gangster mentality in rap music. We see it with the Sopranos and all that, the kisses and on the cheek, the duns. And it's this persona that is fake, by the way. Because as I say all the time, see, if you was gangster, you wouldn't have got into music. You would have kept it gangster. That's just the truth. Anytime you see these brothers in music who talk about they came from this world of selling drugs and slanging, see, the real drug dealers are still in drug dealing. Because that's where the money is. You don't go from making money to hoping you make money in rap music. That's just the truth.
Right.
Out of Atlanta, they didn't get into rap music. They stayed into drugs. You see what I'm saying? They were right. They didn't get into rap music. And if you don't know who that is, when Jeezy is rapping about BMF being affiliated, and they stayed in their lane. They didn't say, well, oh, you know what? We can rap now. Let's go from all this money we making to a record company who's gonna try to screw us over. So I think a lot of that whole persona played into this. It's acceptable. You get what I'm saying? It's acceptable because that's this world, and we gotta put on this masculine. We do that as men. We kiss each other. That's my boy. Which leads into the second part is after that interview, Turk and Kevin Gates happen to run across each other, whatever. There's a video out there where Kevin Gates, as a sign of affection, kisses him on the forehead. See, even then, that's different. That's not the matter. I'm with you, ROSZ. Right. I have a homeboy. Me and my homeboy ain't never felt the urge to say we're going to show our love for each other because you my nigga. And I'm going to allow you and vice versa to kiss me on my mouth.
Right. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to palm you on the forehead.
Yes. In Dallas, Texas, we dap it up. We our hug is a hug. That ain't nothing wrong with that. But in no shape, form, and fashion have anybody I'm cool with said that we were going to show our platonic, love for each other by a kiss on the mouth. Saliva kind of is exchanged in kissing.
And I'm just thinking about something. I don't even kiss my grandboys like that because I don't want them to think that's normal behavior because of stuff that happens. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want them to go to school and kiss another kid dead on the mouth.
Right. Because then it's going to be interpreted. It's going to be interpreted. Right. You're going to get a call. They're going to be like, hey, he shouldn't do that.
And how do you explain that? Right?
You damn to get kicked out of school. And so for you guys that are watching, again, the first half of the show, we talked about Sha'Carri Richardson, her performance, and all the aftermath of that. Now we're talking about Turk, who gave a recent interview where he talked about Baby and how, you know, he would kiss Wayne and him and how they blew it off. And even I'm starting back and I'm thinking, and he was talking about gay games. The only two things that I can think of, and this goes back to high school where it was a male thing, was two things. But it was a football thing, not a male thing. It was a football team thing. We used to do two things in school. If you played football, we call it hazing. Freshmen, the varsity would, what's the word for it? The varsity would rush the freshman team and take their underwear. We had cages, and so if you was in the freshman locker, the varsity, because they varsity locker and their cage was on the end, they would come out. But it was a hazing thing. Freshman football team go get their work. They finna pull you. It was hazing. We go put your shit on the flagpole. You had guys who was running.
Right.
Now I can say thankfully they never did me like that, because not that they didn't respect me, they knew, you know, shit, I'm gonna be up there with them. Literally I was. And so me and a couple of guys, they really didn't do that to. But again, that was collectively. Secondly, we had a thing amongst the football team. It was called guard yourself. So at any moment, if you're walking through the hallway between class, you better make sure you protected your private. Because
then y'all are young teenagers.
Right. That's what I said. That's the only thing that
it was fun.
Right. That's the only thing. Those are the only two things that I can think of where there was a male interaction, but it was just limited to, it was a football thing. You protect yourself, or you go get popped. You see somebody, you need to go on, and while you walking, I ain't finna be crashed over hurting because you didn't pop me one good time.
Right, and it was stupid. I mean, it's just stupid.
Right. It was a collective thing, not like a individual. Again, it was no like where it looks strange, where it would look odd to people. They were like, there they go.
Now it's like everything is trying to be normalized, and that's the part I hate. That's not normal.
Right. No,
it's not. And I don't have any criticism about somebody else's religion, how they live their life, what they do, but that is not normal. It's not normal for a man to put on a dress. It's not normal. I mean, let's just say stop trying to normalize things that are taking away the masculinity of men. Right. Because that's not normal.
Right.
It's just not. I don't care if we go to France and we decide to take a swim, don't go put on no thongs. That is not normal. You have Bermuda shorts that we bought. Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't go outside of what you know.
Right. It's not normal, and don't try to make it, because some little boy who's confused about a whole lot of stuff is watching that and thinking, oh, so my uncle that kissed me on the mouth, that's normal. No, it's not.
Right.
It's not normal. Now let them choose if that's how they're going to be once they decide and their mind has matured to make those decisions, but don't plan it, because that's not it's not normal.
Check this out, ROSZ. It's funny we having this conversation. I thought about my daughter. For you guys, you know, here we're located in Dallas, Texas. School has just started for Dallas Independent School District. So this past week, my daughter was in school. Twice she comes home, she talks about, and she said this made her uncomfortable seeing two young men. And my daughter's is a 8th grader. She's in middle school. Seeing two boys hold hands and interact with each other. And my daughter said that made me feel uncomfortable. Okay. Well, you know, just keep it moving, you know, as long as you know that's not natural, as long as you know that ain't how we roll here. You get what I'm saying? Let them do what they do.
Right.
That was the first time. But then she said it again. I said, wait a minute. You got to recognize if they messing with you or if it's real. But this is the psychological, as I've been saying all this time with this whole LGBT thing, that we're missing with children who are not comprehending it. It is a psychological thing. Now, mind you, I've never
It
experienced.
is not normal.
Yes, because my
That
daughter
you-
said it made me feel
Right, uncomfortable. But
And I'm
then
like-
if she report that, then she's going to be the person with the problem that they want to cancel and talk to because they're trying to normalize it. And like I said, I don't care how you live your life. I don't. I don't care if you watch TV, if you watch these commercials that's coming on, TV shows now that's coming on. It's more of women, men.
Right.
You know, that type of relationship that they're putting interracial relationships that they're putting out there because of the agenda. And Lord forbid if we upset them, it's a problem. My opinion still is. But don't raise my kid through your commercials.
Right.
Because now, just like you said, harmless child, innocent as can be. I don't. Something about that don't feel right.
Yeah.
Well, now if she
Yeah.
say it, now she has the problem, and she's the one that they're going to talk to about it.
Right.
This is normal for two boys to hold hands. This is normal for such and such. This is normal because now you can't go against it because it's normal. And that's the conversation that they're going to want to have, which is a whole nother show that we can do
Right.
a whole 2 hours on. So we might want to put a peg in that along with mental
Yeah, I mean,
health.
I just, like I said, since you mentioned it, I thought about it. I was like, you know, again, we're talking about Turk and his whole interview about two, you know, him and two grown-ass men. Let's be clear, grown-ass men kissing and how he's trying to justify it because in his interview, he is justifying it as well, you know, his words, men's have.
Stop saying it is. Please stop saying it is.
Men's have gay games. Now, my brother, say you do. Don't include us in what y'all do. And as I said, and it is my opinion, because again, there's a difference between opinion and disrespect. I'm not disrespecting. In my opinion, I believe that they are gay men. In my opinion, I believe that these young men, because they are young men, have had sexual encounters with men, which is why in their mind, they don't mind kind of justifying it. I believe this music industry, which they in, also play a part in this whole gangster persona. They seen it on TV, The Sopranos again, the what they call it, Godfather, and all these gangster where it was acceptable and they thought it was a sign of respect through kissing. Well, again, as a young lady said on TikTok before, damn, she said, my father raised us to understand the difference between entertainment and real life. And I will apply that here. And I have to apply that with my daughter because, again, she's experiencing and saw it and told me twice. And I said, damn it, if she say something to me again, I'm going to have to say something to the school. I'm with you. I don't care who you lay with, what relationship you have. It ain't none of my business who you have a sexual relationship with. But I'm going to have a problem if my daughter is uncomfortable. And again, she's made to feel like she has the problem because she's not raised in a household that condones it. As I say before we get up out of here, ROSZ, if you want to add anything else, I have a mentor that's gay, and I say it all the time, but he understands and respects my position as a heterosexual man. I have a young lady who I've been knowing, a good best friend and friend for over 20-some years, who's in a female relationship. They know my stance on it. You get what I'm saying? So the shit I'm talking here, I can tell the people who live it, and we can respect each other for it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, how you live your life privately does not change our relationship, our friendship. I would never let that come between what we give to each other as friends. And so those are just our beliefs. That is what we think. And we want to know what you guys think. Again, shout out to I wish you would put your real name when you when you come in. Shout out to the owner of Energized Code Clothing we have in the building. You put on her your name, Brunson Francis. I forgot your first name, so you gonna have to put your first name in, my brother, when you chime in. But again, he is the owner of Energized Code. I just happen to be wearing the t-shirt, and so thank you too also for tuning in. Again, first half of the show for you guys who are just now tuning in, we were talking about Sha'Carri Richardson and the aftermath of her getting 9th place in her race since her suspension. Now we're talking about the interview of Turk, former member of Cash Money Records, who made up a 4-member group of the Hot Boys, who was hot in the early 90s, 2000s, who did a recent interview about how Baby would kiss him and Lil Wayne, and we want to know your thoughts about it. So weigh in what you think. Is it acceptable for, 2 men to kiss? And then, me, I was going to be petty and put it on social media. I said, these niggas was going to have your boyfriends, your little thug dudes kissing each other. And like I said, it is my belief, and I'm going to stand on what I said as somebody who actually worked as a correction officer early. I know what it looked like to be hard and actually mess with men. I'm not knocking it, but I'm telling you. I will say this, and it is my thoughts, as I said before, to you young black women, because this is a black show. Understand when you meet a dude like this who's so-called gangster, who come from that life, who's been in some form of incarceration, and I'm going to say a minimum of 5 years. Let's not mistake that somehow sexually he's done something. I didn't say every. I want to make sure that's clear. But I'm telling you what I've seen from the inside. I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm not talking about a TV show. I'm telling you what I've seen as a correction officer. I'm telling you how it really works. Every man who is locked up black does not have the luxury of sleeping with a correction officer. Let's make that clear. And understand that those women, they don't get caught. They're going to go do fed time, penitentiary time too. It's a consequence. But best believe every male does not have that luxury of mentally getting to a correction officer, and he does it. So I always tell women to be leery and be just mindful. If you see some tendencies, and I hear it, I say, well, they come from a place, just depending on how long he was locked up. Hell, if he did maybe a year or two, he might be able to hold out. You get what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And I think, again, that's just the with Turk, and you got to remember he was locked up. And it all play a part of all that. He was locked up for a long time. You got to go back. He was locked up for a minute. Yes, he has a girl now, but he was locked up for, I think, if I'm not mistaken, at least 8+ years. Kevin Gates is another one of them. So I already look at them brothers suspect anyway. Kevin Gates, I look at suspect already. I don't know for sure. But like I said, as somebody who watched it on the inside, I know all these niggas who keep them tough waves, who stay buff. You know what I'm saying? That's all they got is weights and to look fresh. They make their own pomade. I be like, damn, who you looking good for? I was evil. I'm not gonna lie. I was so evil. I used to mess with them all the time. I'm like, who you looking good for? I mean, tough. Them waves were sick. And we talking about from soap. But I understood what it was. And so, again, that's how I look at these brothers who are trying to justify this male on male kissing situation. Listen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Again, shout out to the champ. Thank you for coming in. You didn't have to. Again, earlier we sent our condolences to you and your family. Again, if you ever need us, you guys have a special place in your heart because you support us, not just as an organization. And so it means so much, man. I can tell you from brother, if you ever need anything, you ever want to talk, you know where we at on social media. If you just want to get away, hit your boy up anytime. I'm sure it's the same for ROSZ. Please make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We are across all major social media platforms. Um, Again, just reach out to me. ROSZ, last words.
Great show today. Piggyback on it. For Sha'Carri. Uh, Still support you, still love you, still a fan. Waiting on you to come out of this and set the record straight on the track, not during the interview. Let me go ahead and put that out there. Brother Raheem, you already know, husband, as I call him, because when they first got married, that's how she referred to him, was husband. So that's how we in American Beauty Court refer to him, as husband. So if you need anything from me, from the court, just let us know. We are here 24/7. You may have to say who you are once or twice, but I get it by that third time, I promise. Much love to everybody that has supported. They come in week after week. We don't know when we're going to pop up. It may be a Wednesday, it may be a Thursday, it may be a hot Sunday. We don't know, but y'all are there whenever we do it, and we appreciate that a lot. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Already, again, Roz, I appreciate you for tuning in. Shout out to Diamond, our other co-host. Let's not forget about her, but she's actually on the road traveling, trying to get back to San Antonio, Texas. So that's why she was not able to join us for today's show. Again, we thank you guys and we appreciate all the support you guys give us, all the love, all the likes, all the shares, all the comments. Again, we just look forward to having a dope show. With that being said, man, thank you guys, and we will see you guys next week.